that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
There you have it. I hope you're all happy. I'd like to greet everyone. A best afternoon to all of you. I hope you're in a good situation right now, and I hope you're all safe. And I'd like to welcome you with our mental health webinar brought to you by Trinity University of Asia Student Affairs Center. Let me introduce myself. I am Ace Russell or Domingo, your University Student Council Vice Governor, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today. May I know how are you, everyone? How are you feeling? Kanina, we've watched a clip or yeah, a certain or different or various clip about what makes you happy, but I will not ask you that, and I will not let you answer that nor today, for we are going to discuss our feeling, our mental health, which is I think has a significant role, especially during this time of pandemic, where our study become online. And I know for our teachers out there who's been teaching with the use of technologies and devices, talking to just the monitor itself, I know how hard it is. And also for the students who's having a hard time also to cope up with the lessons that we need to do every day. And of course, the tasks and requirements that we need to pass amidst of the limited or not limited, but the online classes happening without the face-to-face setup. So again, I'd like to greet you everyone. A good afternoon, and I hope that all throughout the event we're going to participate and enjoy and learn from it. But before that, I'd like to encourage everyone and to inform everyone that we are also live stream via the Student Affairs Center Facebook page. And kanina nga sa mga devices na meron na rin nagpa-pop up sa Facebook notification ko that yeah, the Student Affairs Center is now live. So we are encouraging you guys who's here with us, either here sa Zoom or sa Facebook Live, to please share this so that we can reach more students, or not just students, but also people who might learn from this webinar that we're going to have this afternoon. But before we go on to the proper or the formal program that we have today, I'll just reiterate the few reminders before we proceed. First, especially here who are on the Zoom platform, please turn off your microphone and camera during the webinar unless you are asked to respond. Second, use the chat box responsibly if you are asked to. And then third, don't forget to fill out later on the evaluation form at the end of the webinar. Certificates will be given only to those who have filled out the evaluation form. So reminder to those to our participants today, so to don't forget to fill out our evaluation form. For this will serve as your participation all throughout the or for today's webinar. regarding mental health. And lastly, learning is fun, so enjoy and let us all make this webinar worthwhile. And this will not happen if you're not going to participate all throughout our session. I think we have this reaction, or we have here in here in Zoom. Kindly raise your hand if you're doing well and having fun right now. I know na patapos na yung semester natin, and there are a lot and jam-packed yung mga requirements natin. There are a bulky of tasks, requirements that we need to pass for this sem. But I also know that there are also students from different colleges na nakapagtapos na ng the final, especially the third year and the fourth year and the graduating class. So congratulations and kudos to all of you, and I hope yung mga lower years ay ganun din. But yes, I hope happy, and sabi nga no kanta kanina, no, let's all be happy and enjoy the day. Sabi nga ng kantang Happy. Ayan. You may approach the button, any of it or any of these. You may approach heart or the like button if you are happy. Sana napahappy tayo ng kantang Happy. Ayan. Medyo hindi ko siya nakikita kasi naka-phone lang ako. Pero ayun, meron na nag-thumbs up na isa. So I hope yung participants, 43 participants natin today are happy. Ayan, nakikita na ako ng 3. Daniel Ong, Mary Grace Morena. Ayan, sana all happy. Ayan, si Mr. Pio Antonio Tumulak. Yan, happy. And meron ring heart. So keep on having fun. Keep on enjoying your day, for we're going to have this webinar fun and learning while learning rather. So now to formally start our program, may we request our university chaplain, Father 𝐒𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄, to lead us with an opening prayer, after which we will have the Philippine National Anthem and Trinity March or hymn as rendered by the Trinity Chorale. Let us all watch this.
Good day, everyone. Let us pray. Gracious God, you created us and our environment good. And when your people have sinned against you and destroyed that goodness, peace, and wellness, you sent messengers to call them back to you and your way. You decided out of love and mercy to sacrifice your Son, that by such ultimate means we might see your amazing love, turn from our wicked ways, and find restoration and peace back in you. You undoubtedly care about our total well-being, and you continue to do so with your love, mercy, and grace. It is your will that people seek you in faith, relate with you, and find you as the source of every provision and help for their well-being. Thank you for this much-needed conversation opportunity for wellness with our very own guidance counselors, Miss Geraldine Cruzado and Miss Catherine Garcia. Thank you for everyone involved in the preparation and conduct of this event. Grant us the grace of your Holy Spirit that we may gain the perspectives that you want us to have through life, and that we may be able to come out stronger and healthier through the challenges of this pandemic and other circumstances. For this we pray in the mighty name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, sa silanganan, palag ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuloy ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisihin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo bukal. May dilag kang tulad, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isa't ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig. Ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may di magdidinig. Lupa ng araw na luwan ating magsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya ng pagmay mga ate, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Hail, beloved Trinity, may all thy colors wave high. You're the pride we hold so dear, to thee we pledge our loyalty. Beloved alma mater, come behold his glory clear. May our eyes enlarge thy Trinity's noble name. Hail, beloved Trinity, with all the colors wave high. You're the pride we hold so dear, to thee we pledge our loyalty. Beloved alma mater, come behold his glory clear. May our lives enlarge thy Trinity's noble name.
There. Thank you, Father Kadyogan and Trinity University of Asia Coral. Tunay ngang nakakamiss pumasok sa Trinity University of Asia. And kapag dating mo ng 7 a.m., maririnig mo yung Trinity hymn. Syempre, meron rin tayong opening prayer or Angelus. Yan, so nakakamiss lang, no, pumasok. Biglang nag-reminisce ng experiences. So hopefully, this coming semester will be having limited face-to-face classes. But syempre, limited nga. So, we'll know kung anong mangyayari sa mga susunod. And hopefully, magkita-kita na ulit tayo. For I know na sobrang namimiss na natin ang ating mga classmates, teachers, guidance counselor, administrators, and syempre, yung mga excellent or yung mga guards na kilala natin. Syempre, yung mga helper natin like yung mga janitor and janitress na kuminsan nakakausap rin natin sa school. But before that, kanina I'd just like to go back dun sa video na pinakita. Parang what makes you happy, and meron din doon na parang meron ring part na ine-empower yung sarili. So all throughout, I hope na we'll be able to learn and to acknowledge that we are all worth it. And yung worth natin na rin syempre. And ako, I'd like to share rin na doing nothing is still a thing. So minsan kasi nag-share bigla. Nag-reflect pala dun sa mga video. But going back, yun nga, doing nothing is still a thing. So kung wala kang ginawa ngayong araw or kung wala ka pang nagawa ngayong araw, it's okay, hindi required. Required rin magpahinga. So, yung pahinga mo, I think it is a must and it is a required also for yourself to take care of yourself as well. So, hindi mahalaga na, hindi importante na palagi kang may ginagawa. Yeah, at some point, yes, it is because we make ourselves productive. But sometimes kasi kapag wala tayong nagawa, nadi-disappoint tayo. Parang, for today, I'm not productive, wala akong nagawa. But please know. Kasi I think you deserve to have a break. Sabi nga nila, wag kang hihinto, magpapahinga lang. Don't quit. Sorry, ayoko nang i-expound yung sinasabi ko. But without further ado, to give an introduction to our first guest speaker and to know more about thriving nation's resiliency amidst adversity, for I know mas marami silang masishare sa atin and mas marami silang experiences na maibibigay sa atin. May we call on Miss Mary Grace Morena to introduce our first guest speaker from the College of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Miss Mary Grace Morena.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ace Domingo. For our first speaker is the Guidance Counselor of Trinity University of Asia, College of Hospitality and Tourism Management, and College of Allied Health and Sciences. For many years, she has been driven for her commitment to assist students in exploring their academic and career development, social, emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. She is currently the advisor of two peers in Honor Society and a member of the University Research Development Center Institutional Ethics Review Committee. Recently, she was appointed as board member of the Peer Organization of the Philippines. She maintained her active membership to professional organizations such as Philippine Guidance Counselor Association, Integrated Professional Counselor Association of the Philippines, and the Philippine Association of Campus Student Advisor. Further, she is an active member of the 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒 Balikatang Multipurpose Cooperative and holds a position to serve her kabalikat. She is a registered guidance counselor, a licensed professional teacher, and alumna of the College of Education, Trinity University of Asia. She professes a person for others' spirit by sharing wholeheartedly her passion and service to her alma mater and to the community. A devoted mother of two children and a faithful wife to a seafarer. To share with us her expertise on the topic, Thriving Trinitians' Resiliency Amidst Adversity. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Ms. Geraldine P. Cruzado.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, MJ, for the kind introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Loud
ma'am.
and clear
Okay,
po.
thank you. Okay, so before I proceed to my sharing of insight on the topic Thriving Trinitians, Resiliency Amidst Adversity, may I invite everyone to participate our relaxation activity on which you can try to practice when you are overwhelmed with your academic requirements and feeling stressed with things that bother you sometimes. And we can include relaxation and mindfulness activities in our daily routine, to help us feel more calm and grounded, particularly during this pandemic. The first thing that we are going to do is to have the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the goal of this activity is to help our mind focus on the things that you are asked to identify. So it helps us to process, balancing emotion, our physical and mental and energy state. So please sit properly. Okay, for some of you who are facing your laptop or using your cell phones. Okay, so let's have this activity. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is acknowledge 5 things that you can see around. It could be your laptop, ball pen, your cell phone, notebook, or anything in your surrounding at the moment. Next, acknowledge 4 things that you can touch. It could be your the table, chair, pillow, or the floor under your feet. So next is acknowledge the 3 things that you can hear. Could be the sound of your belly crumbling, Baka medyo kumukulo yung tiyan. The sound of electric fan. Music outside, no? Or anything outside your body. Next is acknowledge the two things that you can smell. It could be an aroma of coffee. Oh, namimiss nyo na ang Starbucks malapit sa Trinity. Or perfume, or the smell of flower. Or anything, no, na naaamoy nyo sa paligid. And then for the last, one thing that you can taste. Nalalasahan nyo pa ba? Ninang Lance. Could be the taste of your dessert. Sweet, salty, sour. Ano kaya yun? Okay. So, that is the grounding technique. And for the next activity, I want you to put your hands like this. And then close your eyes. And we will count 1 to 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Reverse. Okay. Your left hand to your ears and your head on your shoulder. Again, we'll count 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the last one, hands like this, put it in your chin, like this. Close your eyes. And again, we'll count 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale, and open your eyes. So how are you? How are you feeling right now? Kumusta ang pakiramdam nyo? Okay. So my task now is to share with you my insight on the topic. And I have 3 objectives, no? The first one is to share insight about resiliency and adversity. 2, to appreciate the value of the character strength. And 3, to practice the value of resiliency and thrive in the new normal. Okay. So, kumusta ka na? O kumusta na kayo? Okay. This slide. So, how are you affected by the pandemic? May I invite everyone to open the Menticom with the code 75522669 and answer the question. Okay po. You may share your feelings and thoughts about the current situation during this pandemic. Okay. So, nakalag na po ba tayo? Okay, so thank you. Okay, so let's wait for the answer. Not open for voting. Oh. Okay, you may write your answer on the chat box instead. So, na-challenge na tayo sa ating technical. Okay, fine. Medyo drain na po. Okay. Madaming adjustment po. Hey. Yes. It's true. Wow, kinakaya pa po. Nakakamiss po gumala with friends. Having hard time to focus with online classes. Yes. Nakaka-boring sa bahay. Feel stress. Pero kakayanin. Laban lang. I like it. No? Laban lang. Okay. 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 How about the others? Okay. Wow. I'd like to tell you that your feelings are valid. Yes, the struggle is real. Maybe some of you are feeling lonely, stressed, hopeless, bored, guilty for being bored. Huh? But on the positive note, some may be feeling grateful, inspired to help others, or some would feel being vindicated because they are able to find finally they are able to find solution to their challenges or problems. Okay, so what is happening right now? Okay, so we have coronavirus pandemic. Okay, and because of that, it brought a lot of challenge to all of us. So we need to cooperate and practice the healthy protocols like wearing masks, washing hands frequently, wear face shields, monitor health, and of course, stay 2 to 3 feet away from others for social distancing. Another concern is we have many Filipinos are losing their jobs. Recently, the Philippine Statistics Office reported that there are 4.2 million of Filipinos who are jobless. while 7.9 million took cut from shorter working hours. With the Philippines under lockdown and quarantine over a year right now, so it created a ripple effect. Okay, and of course, the disruption of classes in school and universities. We are lucky that here in our own institution, Trinity University of Asia, we have our TLC and we adopted the flexible learning option, wherein we have the synchronous and asynchronous learning modality of learning. Okay, I know it's not easy to adjust. Okay, some of you mentioned it a while ago. Okay, it's not considering the internet connectivity, availability of gadgets, and many others. But I would like to say that our student, the student of Trinity University of Asia are thriving despite of the challenge of the online learning. Okay. Okay, so for some people who have lived experience of mental health issues aggravated because of the 𝐒𝐔𝐁 and the prolonged isolation, it has a major effect on our lives, and many of us are facing the daily lives. Okay, that can be stressful and overwhelming, and with that it causes strong emotion, feeling of fear, worry, frustrated, changes of sleeping pattern. But then it is natural to feel stressed, worried, because of the continuous number of continuous rising of the positive cases of coronavirus. So in an abnormal situation, so our range of reaction are normal. Okay. Next. Okay, some of the common reaction to stressful events. So we have healthy. Some would enjoy nature walk, watching show, particularly Korean novela. Okay, exercising, spending time. Okay, my favorite is spending time with loved ones. Okay, some of you would take time to read books or practice meditation or engage in creative arts like drawing or some TikTok, mayroong nagti-TikTok. Okay. Editing of videos. Okay. So for unhealthy, eto naman yon, no? So some become irritable. Okay. They easily raise voice in our arguments, overeating, oversleeping. Some avoidance. They don't like to talk with their loved ones, even they are confined in one room. And alcohol abuse or drugs. Okay. So next slide, please. We may have a different way on how to react on the challenges, no? So why we are talking about resiliency? So I'd like to highlight that one of DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña once highlighted natural resiliency and creativity of Filipinos in facing the challenges, particularly the unprecedented effect of the coronavirus. And for the definition of resiliency, according to Michael Ninan, in 2009, the author of the book, Developing Resiliency, he defined resiliency as means of ability to respond to a stressful encounter in a healthy, adaptive way, and not only to survive the challenge, but grow. Okay, so in the new definition of resilience, okay, resilience means advancing despite of adversity. In other words, okay, despite of the adversity, if a person is a goal-oriented, okay, he will work towards achieving his goal. He will not wait for the adversity to come. Instead, he will become proactive, to find solution to the challenge that he or she is facing. Okay, so in resiliency, okay, it is our capacity to bounce back in times of adversities. It's not only bouncing back, but what is important is after the adversity, we are able to move forward. Okay. So as you can see, we have the symbolism. We have the bamboo tree. It's a very good symbol of resiliency. Another thing, a symbol of resiliency is the rising sun, wherein the rising sun bring hope, new beginning. Okay. Next slide, please. So in resiliency, we begin to identify who we are, the I am factor, the I have factor, who are the people of whom the external resources, okay, the I can factor, and the I will factor. And then for the I am factor, next slide, please. Okay, so as a source of resilience, the I am factor refers to individual internal personal strengths. So this refers to our feelings, attitude, and beliefs within you. So what are your strengths that help you to cope with the challenges? What are the character strengths that you know, that you accept, that you have, that you will be able to help to cope up the challenges? So we have the example of the character strength. We have being honest, loving, empathic, hopeful, grateful, altruistic, forgiving, and courageous. So in other words, these are your characteristics as a person. And for the I have factors, this refers to the external support and the resources that promote resilience. Whom do you turn to for help or support during challenging situations? This could be your family, your friends, classmates, teachers, the priest, your guidance counselors, or the deans of your college, and the people whom you can trust to. So what resources help you cope with the challenges? So these are the external factors. Maybe you have trusting relationship, supportive family, good structures or rules at home. And for the I can or I I can factor refers to the social and interpersonal skills. So we learn these skills by interacting with others and to those who teach us. These are our positive coping skills. Maybe you are good in communication, good in solving problem, you are good in organizing events, you are very supportive in the projects of others. So those are the things that you can, no, that will help to cope the challenges positively. So next slide, please. For the I will, okay, this refers to the resolution or the solution that you made, no, to cope up the challenges. But what about adversity? Okay, so when we say adversity, this refers to difficult and unpleasant situation. So I would like to share the top three common concerns, no, that we are challenged. Number one, we have financial. Okay, so during this pandemic, I would say that there is no financial stability because even big companies, no, businesses, institutions shut down. So many people lost their job because of retrenchment, layoff, and some are working in a reduced number of hours. And that means a great challenge. No? It's like losing the resources to provide for our basic needs. But then on the positive side, some became creative, no? So we have the plantitos and plantitas, young entrepreneurs, we have online selling, no? So those who lost their job, nagkaroon na sila ng business and they're thriving sa situation. The other one is relationship. So we Filipinos are known for close family ties. So life, sometimes, life offers a situation or circumstances that, damage relationship. And we need to validate our feelings to reduce, no? To reduce at least the feeling of anger or anxiety, no? And it is very important, no? That we recognize our family, no? So, ano ba ang challenge kapag sa family, no? So if one member of the family have problem, for sure, everyone are involved in decision making, affected din sila kung ano yung pinagdadaanan nila. So the pandemic brought, no, a lot of changes, not only in a family routine, but in adjusting and adapting the new normal, no? So it's not easy, no? But then on the other side, Okay, on the positive note, some become close, no? Close family relationship. They are connecting each other. They have more time to pray together, and they appreciate each other by by expressing their positive affirmation, by assuring them na nandito lang ako, one call away. Okay. And even reaching out, no, for the relative na sometimes matagal nang hindi nakakausap. So nagkaroon ng opportunity to reach out through social media, and even for the family reunions, okay, you will see that they are using, or they are maximizing the use of social media by using Google Meet or Zoom during their family reunions or family gathering. Even a wedding, mayroon na ding sa social media nila ginagamit. Okay? And the last one is health concern. Okay, this is challenging. No? Okay, so of course, when one member of the family got infected with the virus, okay, it brings a lot of feeling of worry, okay, uncertainty. So, and then on the other side of this, okay, the positive side of health concern is that we become conscious to eat nutritious food, practice the healthy protocols, give importance on our relaxation, exercises, and sleeping habits. Okay. Next slide. In other words, challenges are what make life interesting. Okay. And overcoming them is what makes meaningful. That's according to Joshua J. Marine. Okay, so challenges serves as an ingredient to make our life more interesting. And the moment that you are able to overcome the challenge, that you will find the aha moment. Okay, the aha moment. Okay. So next slide, please. So how are you responding, no, when confronted with challenges? Okay, in one of the webinar I attended, Miss Josie Banagio presented how people respond when confronted with challenges. Okay, so the first one is survive. Okay, we should have the I will survive attitude. Sabi nga kanina, laban lang. Okay, so fight the challenge. Accept that when you are facing the challenge, you are not alone. Diba? No man is an island. So if you have challenge, remember that you are not alone. For the recovering, okay, the challenge, you accept the challenge as part of the life story. Okay, accept the situation as it is happen, because acceptance is a powerful tool for recovery. Once you accept the challenge, then you are free to move forward for recovery. Okay, so thrive. Okay, thrive, another word for thrive is flourishing. Okay, so we need to assume the responsibility for our own life, to learn to face the challenges with the strength to thrive. We need to use the character strength that we have. So we have the I have factor, okay, to strengthen us and to turn the challenges into opportunity. We must learn how to emerge from the challenges wiser and stronger. But of course, it all depends on how we respond to the challenge of life. No? To thrive, we should not avoid the hardship. No? We should not avoid the hardship or the challenges, but then we should adapt. No? The important keyword is adapt. To adapt with it with courage. No? We should be courageous enough to face the challenges that we have. So it is also interesting to note, next slide please. It's important to note, no, to practice the growth mindset principle. Some of you are practicing it already, no? So what is the growth mindset says? So according to growth mindset, failure becomes the opportunity to grow. The I can learn factor, that you take every challenge as opportunity for opportunity to learn something new, and that challenges will help to grow, will help us grow better. And then recognizing the attitude and abilities, no, as a strong characteristic, no, to bounce back, no, bounce back in times that you encounter problem. So in other words, if we have that growth mindset, we will not consider challenge as stumbling block. No, we would not feel long. We would not frustrated long, no, because we have the thinking that it's an opportunity for us to learn something new, to become more strong. Okay, so next, how do we develop resilience? Okay, so understanding. So what are we going to do? Okay, we need to look deep into our selves. Okay, so what is happening to us? So what is happening on the situation? So look at the big picture on which you will truly understand. Okay, will truly understand the experience, the situation you are facing. Remember that negative thoughts are temporary, and so with the challenge, it will not stay long. It will not stay forever. It's temporary. Okay. So in managing, okay, you spend more time to configure new approaches or new strategies on how to manage the situation. So trying the new strategies and practicing it, okay? And for growing, okay, we redefine what is important, okay? Identify the benefits from coping with a difficult situation. And of course, what is important in growing is that we give gratitude, okay, for the positive aspect of I. These are your character strengths. So that means considering the positive attributes, your positive attributes, and change for the uh, uh, or the paradigm shift to have that positive attitude, because the attitude of that attitude of acceptance, patience, trust will help you to let go of the challenges that you have. So sabi nga, no, one of my favorite author of the book, no, sabi niya, we cannot change, we cannot move away until we thoroughly accept that we are. Then change seems to come about almost unnoticed. So it is necessary for us to accept the situation as it is. And the moment you accept it, then you will not notice that it is changing and you are becoming attuned with the challenges. Okay, so next slide, please. Next. So next is, we have the 7 C's of Resilience by Dr. 𝐒𝐂𝐄𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄. So we have competence, confidence, connection, character, contribution, coping, and control. So let's have the competence. So when we say competence, this is the ability to know how to handle the situation effectively. So it requires having the skills, no, face the challenges, and had the opportunity to practice using the skills so that you will become competent in dealing with the situation. Okay, so it is all about our knowledge, skills, performance, experience, leadership, and potential. But the question is, do we easily recognize our competence? Are we competent enough in managing our own emotion, anger, stress, and so on? Okay, so next slide. You may answer, no? Okay, so are we enough in managing emotion, anger, and stress? Yes or no? Okay. Next slide, please. Not, yes. Galing ng all the time. Okay. Ayan. How to build competence. Okay. Understand, the first thing that that we are going to do is, of course, understand your own strength and find ways to improve. Okay, once you recognize your strength, you have the opportunity to use it well and improve more. Okay. Circumstance as an opportunity, as I mentioned a while ago. You considered the challenges as opportunity to learn something new. And once you identify what works best in facing the challenges, then do more of it. Okay, next. Okay, so cover your greatest strength. You learn to use them to handle stress and life challenges become and you develop relationship with those who matter most to you. So what are your strengths? Okay, sige nga. Kung kilala nyo ang inyong sarili. Okay, sige nga. You type on the chat box, what are your strengths? What are your character strengths? Let me see. Malakas kumain. Wow, understanding, adaptable, cute, very good. Okay. How about the others? What are your character strengths? Wow, always positive, ma'am. Very good. Yes, optimistic. Okay. How about the others? So thank you for participating in answering the questions. So in as much as I would like to make this talk interactive, okay, helping, okay. So in other words, we have to focus on our character strength rather than dwell on our weaknesses and believe that we cannot change our success without having the challenges. So we have to embrace our weaknesses and turn them to make it our strength. Okay, next slide, please. Wow, confidence. Okay, so the belief, the belief to be able to navigate the world is just like thinking outside the box to recover from the challenges. So it comes from our solid belief, in one's own abilities. And of course, it is rooted in our competence. We gain confidence by demonstrating our competence in real situation. It's true. Okay. So whenever that we are encountering challenging situation, okay, we need to be confident enough that we would be able to face it with the strength given to us from above. Next slide. So, sabi nga, when we feel supported, when we are competent, okay, it helps us to gain more confidence. Ibig sabihin, for us a student, for the student, once your efforts, okay, is being recognized or you receive a positive affirmation coming from your parents or from your teachers, from your classmate, or then you have a job well done. Sabi nga mayroon kang nagawang maganda, job well done. So it gives a feeling of, satisfaction. And it increase our confidence further, and we would be able to improve more on the quality of our work. Sometimes yun lang naman yung kailangan, kailangan natin yung positive reinforcement, para bang 3 days kang naghirap, 3 days mong ginawa yung iyong requirements, academic requirements, and then kapag narinig mo coming from your teacher, wow, excellent, job well done. Okay? Parang nawala yung iyong pagod at puyat. Okay? So next slide po. Sorry. Okay. Next is the connection. Okay? So our ability, no, to develop close family ties, no, with friends, school, and community. So it creates, a solid sense of security that help us, no, to develop our strong values. In here, we have the importance of support system. When we have a challenging situation, we need the support of others. We need the support of our family, friends, okay, teachers, your guidance counselor, or your loved ones. No? And it, sabi nga, mas gumagaan ang isang bagay kapag kayo ay may katuwang. Okay? So in other words, it is very important to build healthy relationship with the people around, not only for the people around you, but for the people whom you encounter, no? You build a good relationship, or di mo alam, no? Time will come that you will be needing their help. And of course, by spreading positivity, no, you will be able to build a good relationship. Okay. How do you build connection with those around you? Oh, paano kaya? Okay. Particularly now that we are online most of the time, we're using social media to communicate with our friends, with our teachers, and our family, for those who are having family in the province. So what we are going to do is, to let it out. Okay, use social media platforms to connect with them. Call a friend to talk to someone about how are you feeling. Okay. Not only your feeling of your negative feeling, but of course, talk about your positive feelings. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, it's important, no, to have that support system on which you create a space, no, to express freely your feelings. Even we are engaged in the world of, in the world that we are using, the internet, no, use it, no, in a way that you can be able to maintain your connection with them. Next slide po. Okay. Character, no? So for the character, it is a fundamental sense of right and wrong that allows you to stick to your own values and demonstrate a caring attitude towards other. You value, no, your character as much as your as a precious, no, as a precious gems, because your character will define who you are. No? The clear, no, the clear manifestation, okay, of who you are is shown through your character and attitude. So sabi nga ni Helen Keller, the true test of character is to face hard condition with determination to make them better. So a clear sense of right and wrong, and having perspective and commitment, no, to practice, your commitment to practice the value, no, the value of integrity, one of our Trinitian core values, to practice the value of integrity when we are facing challenging situation, no, and of course being grateful, no, for the things that you are supported, no, but that you are supported by your loved ones. Okay, we would give you a sense of, you know, you are not alone. So eto nga, sabi nga, did you know that you can strengthen your character? Eto yon. Okay, your character by being grateful of the things that you have in your life. So at this moment, let's try to reflect, no? Reflect on the things that you have done, maybe for the last 3 days or for a week. Okay, think about of the 3 persons that have encouraged you, that help or guided you. So what are the things that you would like to thank them? Who are they? Were you able to express your appreciation to them? Are you able to verbalize that you are grateful for the help or for the things that they have done to you? Okay. So let's next is to reflect the 3 experiences or moment that happened this week. So which you think are the best? Ano kaya yung mga experiences na yon? Okay. So next slide, please. Okay. So for contribution, okay. So realize, no, that the world is better place because we are here, no. You can contribute, no. Do it small. The small things that you can do offline or online, no, matters. Think of ways on how you encourage kindness among your loved ones in your community. Or maybe you post positivity quotes or inspirational quotes online. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, remember that you can always give something, even if it is only kindness. Okay, appreciate and share the blessings that you have. And of course, focus on lending your helping hand. Okay. For coping, okay, all of learning to cope effectively, no, is a skill. Okay, to help us to overcome life challenges, no. But then we need to adapt, no. Adaptation, no, is important response to adversity. Okay. So for coping, no, if you think, no, these are the positive coping strategies. If you think that the challenges is bigger than you can handle, then it may be worth seeking for help from other people whom you can trust. You can make your goal short, okay, by using this SMART. It should be specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and time-bound. And of course, focus on the positive vibes. Next. Next slide. For control, okay, there are circumstances or there are challenges that we are not in control, because life's events are not purely random, and that most things happen are the result of another individual choices and actions. So we need to understand that the meaning of discipline is not punishing or controlling. Okay? So if I may ask, how have you been coping during this pandemic? If I give you a scale of 1 to 5, okay? 5 is the highest, that you are very much you are coping very well. And then 1 is surviving to cope. Ano kaya ang inyong score? Okay? Sige nga, lagay nyo nga sa chat box. So for the range of 1 to 5, anong score ninyo? Wow, very good. 4. Okay. Wow. May 3.5. Okay, very good. Coping. Thank you. Wow. So that means you are coping with the new normal, because most of your answer are 4. Okay, so next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Okay, so we'll reflect on the one of the takeaway get from the talk of Father Ted Gonzalez, wherein he used crown gem. According to him, during this pandemic, we should have or use the crown. This crown for an acronym. No, we have the letter C, the confidence during crisis. So we should have confidence that we would be able to survive this crisis. And then letter R, return home within, to remember who you are, to remember your character strength. And letter O, for the opportunity to help. Look for the opportunity where you can help and take it as your responsibility. For W, we have, according to Father Ted, he who has why to live for can bear with almost anyhow. So this referring to the wisdom of the cross. Remember the cross, no? That every time that you are having a challenge, you just look at it and you will realize that, you know, we have that power, no? We have that wisdom that we would be able to surpass the challenges. And letter N, say negative to COVID. And hope that we will be back to normal life by having, let's continue to have our networking. And that is crown, the crown gem, according to Father Ted Gonzalez. And one of my favorite verse, from James chapter 1, verse 12, blessed is the one who persevere under trial, because having that test, that person will receive the crown of life, and that has promised to those who love him. Okay, so let's hope, no, for that. Now for simple tips, no, simple and important tips to remember. So we have number one, okay, of course, be honest with yourself. The first step to moving forward is wholehearted acceptance. No? Discover the purpose as one of the most important point of resilience. It is our centered position of strength. So be honest. Always be honest with yourself. And of course, next, please, learn from your mistakes. Check out where you went wrong and what you can improve on it. We must embrace the pain and service as a fuel for our journey. As I mentioned a while ago, we should not um, we should not be we should not have that attitude that we don't like hardship. No? Sabi nga, we have to embrace hardship and pain because it will serve as a fuel for our journey. And of course, next slide, please. Talk it out. No? Create a space where showing your emotion is welcome. Okay, talking to your loved ones, to your support group. Talk to someone not only about your problems, but also about good things that is happening. Okay, consider developing deep trust in the life process. Next, revisit your reason. Be aware of your why. Remind yourself why you wanted to achieve your goal and walk with your why. Goals that you have set, okay, are connected to other goals that you have. And next, maximize your strength. Okay, focus on what you are good at. Okay, you have your personal strength, your abilities, talents, and interest, because those will have the desired result that will help you to achieve your goal, better quality life and personal accomplishment. And of course, remain hopeful. Okay, so we cannot change the past. You better accept, no? Accept it as it is, and you can always look forward for the future. So accepting and anticipating change make it easier to adapt the new challenges with less worry. Last, of course, take care of yourself. It is very important to tend to your own needs and feelings by practicing stress management, relaxation technique like yoga, meditation, and deep breathing exercise. And of course, number one, prayer. Okay? So, thank you very much. And God bless.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very useful tips and strategies that we can surely use during this pandemic. And I also like no yung crown. Sabi ko nga kanina bang dinidiscuss ni ma'am, hindi sana COVID-19 or yung corona virus yung kunin natin, but make use of this crown. Yes, this crown to at least cope with the challenges that we have experienced and we are currently experiencing during the pandemic. But before we go on, and before we entertain your questions, clarifications, or any queries or concern, take that or have that later for during our open forum or sharing or question and answer segment. But before we proceed, let's give it up for our very own BS nursing student for a special number. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jericho Roque. Let us give him a big round of applause.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. Yeah. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Oh, love knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find the way. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you.
Ayan, salamat Jericho. Actually, dito, napapakanta ko, no? I love the rendition of Hero. Actually, first time natin nakita si Jericho Roque during the Trinitians Got Talent, I think. But yan. So to have more more amazing performances, please visit Student Affairs Center Facebook page and YouTube channel too, because I know there are a lot of Trinitians out there na sobrang gagaling. And yan nga, isa nga si Mr. Jericho Roque. And later on, may mga makikita pa tayong performances, syempre rendered by our very own students from Trinity University of Asia. And since hero yung kinanta ni Jericho kanina, I'd like to greet lang rin our modern heroes. Thank you for saving lives and securing our security during this pandemic. So kudos po sa ating mga frontliners. And now, without further ado, and will not keep you on waiting. So to introduce our second guest speaker for this afternoon, may I call on the President of College of Arts and Sciences and Education Local Council, Ms. Danica Espirito, to introduce our second guest speaker. Let us give her a big round of applause.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. I hope all are healthy and safe. Our second speaker is the guidance counselor of Tua Senior High School and College of Arts, Sciences, and Education. At various points, she has been a part-time faculty of the Psychology Department of the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education. She finished her Bachelor of Science in Psychology, major in Guidance Counseling, and Master of Education in Guidance and Counseling at Philippine Normal University. She is also a registered guidance counselor and a licensed teacher with more than 10 years of professional experience working with adolescent and adult cases. To share with us her expertise on the topic Your Mind Matters, Overcoming the Hill of Worries, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Catherine K. Garcia.
Good afternoon, ma'am. We can't hear you po. Ma'am Catherine, I think you are muted po. So I'm gonna ask you ma'am to unmute. Ayan, ma'am. Hello po. Good
Okay.
afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, Danica. Yan. Kakalito pala yung ganito. Nalilito ako dun sa mga screens ko. Yan. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Ma'am Cathy from the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education, senior high school, ng mga taga-case and mga taga-senior high dyan. Pa-heart emojis naman dyan. Ayan. Meron ba tayong mga taga-case dito na present? Yan. Paramdam nyo naman na ako ay hindi nag-iisa ngayon. Alright, so let me just share with you my screen. Thank you, Student Affairs Center, for inviting me and Ma'am Geraldine for this webinar. I am given the topic, Your Mind Matters, Overcoming the Hill of Worries. So when Ma'am Leia asked me to take part in this webinar, of course, I said yes to Ma'am Leia. Mahihindian ko ba siya, no? But when I received this topic, nag-worry ako. Mama, ano bang topic ko? Ayan. So, this afternoon, my topic for this afternoon is actually an extension of Ma'am Geraldine's topic. So, it's going to be, they're actually very much related. And we will have some reviews. Mag-review tayo later on. If you can still remember some of the things that Ma'am Geraldine shared with us this afternoon. All right, so again, your mind matters, overcoming the hill of worries. I hope we're not very worried as of this moment. I hope we're very much in the present. You're present here with me. Ayan, samahan niyo ako until the end of this webinar. All right. So, familiar po ba kayo sa word search puzzle? Yan. Can you please type in the chat box if you're familiar with word search puzzle? Yes, okay, yes. All right. So let's have a short game. Okay. Ayan. So there are 8 hidden words in my word search puzzle. So you need to type all the 8 words in the chat box. Hindi po isa-isa ha, all of the 8 words sabay-sabay na. So the first participant to type in all the correct answers will be the winner of this game. So are you ready? Ayan. Please tell me, ready na po ba tayo? Yan, i-flex natin yung mga daliri natin pang type. All right, ready na. So, here's our word search puzzle. Okay, I'll give you at least 2 minutes to find the 8 hidden words. Okay, your timer starts now. Sabay-sabay natin yung 8 words sabay-sabay na po. Wag po pa isa-isa. Ayan. So you should type in all the 8 words together. So, try to search for the 8 words and then tsaka nyo siya i-type sa ating chat box. Okay. And then remember that we will only acknowledge words which are related to, which you think is related to our topic, ha? Because you might see some words na hindi naman related sa topic natin. So we'll focus on words which you think are related to our topic this afternoon. Your mind matters, overcoming the hill of worries. Okay, 1 more minute to go. Meron na bang nakahanap ng 8 keywords natin? Ayan. Kindly type in all of the 8 words together. Huwag pong pa isa-isa. Ayan. Collect all the 8 words first and then type them all in the chat box. Ayan, we already have one. Let's try to see if their answers are all correct. Ayan, mabilis. Any other entries? Okay. Okay, last 30 seconds. Oh, dumami na. Ayan. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 entries. Anyone else who would like to type in their answers? Yan, may mga humahabol. Thank you very much for your active participation. Yan, talagang may number pa, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. Sige. So thank you for your participation. Let me give you the 8 keywords for this afternoon. All right. Ayan po ang ating 8 keywords. We have enjoy, sleep, health, relax, mindful, love, gratitude, and self-care. Ayan. Pero nagustuhan ko din yung heal. Ayan. Heal. Sige. So, dapat pala 9, ano? Ayan. So, anyhow, thank you very much. Ang pinaka-naunang mag-type in ng lahat ng tamang sagot ay si Ace. I think. Yan, si Ace. May kulang. Sleep, relax, self-love, gratitude, enjoy, mindful. The joy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's Grace, Mary Grace, who got all correctly. Kasi sa Mary Grace, merong self-care. Ayan. So, Mary Grace, meron din siyang joy. May kulang na isa. Enjoy, joy. Yung health ang wala kay Mary Grace. Ayan. Sino ba ang makakapag-check ng lahat ng tamang sagot ay kasama? Mahirap hanapin yung self-care, no? Kasi pababa. Okay. Ayan. Parang wala nakakompleto. Ayan, pinakamalapit
Wala nga po,
sa Mary
ma'am.
Grace. Naiwan yung self-care natin. Alright. Talagang tinago ko yung self-care eh. Yan, the term self-care is very well hidden. Sino ba nakakita lang ng self-care? Ayan. Anyhow, thank you very much for participating, no? Ayan, nawa tayo. Naka-red po lahat ng sagot. Yes, yes po. Ayan. So, ayan. Isang konting pangkiliti sa ating isipan. Ayan. So, thank you very much for participating. So, this afternoon, we'll be talking all about these 8 keywords. Plus, I like that you found the words joy and heal. Yes, they're also very much related to our topic for this afternoon. And this afternoon, we're going to be focusing on self-care. Yun yung pinaka tinatago kong word. Yun pala yung pinaka main topic natin this afternoon, self-care. And so I do know that every one of us has an idea, is very much aware of what self-care is all about. And why not? Because self-care is a buzzword. It has been a hot word, lalo na when the pandemic started last year. There isn't a day when I don't see a post on my social media about self-care, either from a student, from a friend, from a colleague. It seems like everyone's talking about self-care. And you know, when you post something online or on social media, it is a projection of what you desire, what you're feeling, your needs. So the impression that I'm getting, since I'm seeing a lot of posts about self-care, is that it seems like everyone is so like stressed out that we all crave for a sense of rest, relaxation, self-care, yun, diba? And who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? We are in a situation wherein the stress is all around us. Even we're in the comforts of our homes, we're still feeling stressed out, right? Ang dami pa ring stress. And lalo na kapag lumabas ka, or once you open your TV, or if once you check the news, lalong makakadagdag sa stress mo. And so, self-care is quite a relevant topic that we need to talk about, no? So, what is self-care? What does self-care actually means? We all have an idea of what self-care is, but what does self-care actually means? Although we've been seeing a lot of posts about it, do we really know what all about self-care? Alam na ba natin lahat? And do we already have our self-care routine that works for us? So these are the things that we're going to talk about this afternoon. And let me ask you, what is self-care for you? So if you can please answer this question in the chat box. Ayan, what is self-care for you? What is your idea of self-care? Can either be a word or just a short phrase, yes? Loving yourself, yes. What else? How about the other participants? What is self-care for you? Self-care for me is listening to music. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. How about the others? What is self-care for you? Taking care of yourself through healthy routine. Yes. Swak na swak. Okay. Trusting yourself, mingling with friends. Self-care for me is coffee. Same here. Same here. Coffee is life. Others? Putting yourself first. Yes, Mary Grace. That's nice. Okay. Ayan, sige. The rest of the participants, you're welcome to type in your answers as well. Not depriving myself of the things that I deserve. Nice, nice one. Thank you, Jamie. All right, so mindful action I'm doing to be safe. Okay, yes. And mind you, there are no right or wrong answers here. This is how you look at self-care. Okay, and I'm grateful that all of you have your own outlook or perspective of what self-care is about. Okay, so let's talk more of that. I have actually, once you check Google, self-care is literally caring for oneself according to dictionary.com. And as I'm preparing for this webinar, I have found 3 favorite definitions of self-care, which I'm going to share with you this afternoon. Firstly, this definition by Oxford Dictionary, what I like about this definition is the term active role. Self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting not only our well-being, but our happiness. Okay? I'd like to emphasize the word active role. Self-care should be a verb. Okay? Something that we deliberately do, something that we are conscious of doing. So there should be that active. I am doing something. I am doing self-care. Okay. And then the next definition is from Beauchamp and Childress 2001, saying self-care is providing adequate. When we say adequate, enough, adequate, diba? Attention to one's own physical and psychological wellness. Okay. So if I'm going to ask you now, do you do self-care? Do you practice self-care? Yes or no? Can you type in the answers? Do you practice self-care? Yes po. Ayan. We all do. But the question now is, how do you practice self-care? How do you do it? Can you share with me your self-care practices? Probably you already answered, no? Yung being mindful, trusting oneself, mingling with friends, coffee. Ayan. Those are some of your self-care practices. Anything else that you would like to share? How you practice self-care? Ayan. Quiet time, meditation, wow, exercise, minding health condition, kahit 10 minutes a day, yes. Okay, quiet time, kahit 10 minutes a day, yan. Thank you so much for your answers. Good to know that you not only know what self-care is, but you are actively doing something about self-care. But the question again is it adequate enough? Adequate na enough pa, no? Is it enough? Are you doing enough for your self-care? Okay. And this is also an interesting definition from the World Health Organization. I like this one because it focuses not only on a person's ability to practice self-care, but self-care is the ability of families and communities as well to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a healthcare provider. So what I like about this definition is that I have this this light bulb thought na pwede kayang maging sagot ang self-care para bumaba ang cases ng COVID-19 sa Pilipinas. Just imagine if we will all practice self-care adequately, if we will focus on our own health for us to promote health, prevent disease, maintain our health, not only us, but our families, and then it translates to our neighborhood, to our community. If we're going to be that responsible to care for ourselves, could it be possible that there will be lesser cases of COVID-19 in our country? Just a thought. Hopefully, it would be possible, no? But sana, if we will become more focused on our own self-care, then probably we can help in our own little way. Ayan. So self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. And always remember that self-care is unique for everyone, okay? Because we all have different needs. Okay, that's why self-care is unique for everyone, because self-care depends on our own needs, what our body needs at the moment, and it can change too over time. Okay, definitely, my self-care routine can be very different from yours. Okay, so we know now what self-care is. Let's try to know what self-care is not. Baka mamaya we have the wrong notions about self-care. So self-care is not trying to impress people by overextending yourself. Okay? Self-care is not trying to impress people. And period. And there are people pleasers out there, especially for students, those who are called to become group leaders. Sometimes I get those kind of stories from other students. When they become group leaders, they are given all the tasks to finish a certain, let's say, project, na hindi na nabibigyan ng chance yung other group members to share. Okay, ikaw na, since you're the leader, you do everything. Okay, so there are some people pleasers who's difficult for them to say no. Okay, so that's not self-care. Self-care is being able to set your boundaries, learning how to say no. Okay, not to the extent of you becoming stressed out because of all the things na you're being given to you, all of the responsibilities being given to you. You have the right to say no. Self-care is also, self-care is something that we enjoy doing and not something that we feel forced to. So remember that. Self-care should make you feel relaxed. It's something that you are enjoying. And self-care is not zoning out in front of reality shows, all night then sleeping late. Okay. When I was doing this slides, sabi ko parang ako yata pinariling ganito. Because I get to be busy all day long. So at night, I feel like this is my time for myself. And do you know that there is it's actually a phenomenon now. And let me share this with you. It's called revenge bedtime procrastination. It's a phenomenon wherein people who are very busy all throughout the day refuses to sleep early because they want to regain some sort of control over their time and freedom. And so during the night before they go to sleep, they refuse to go to sleep because they're thinking, parang kailan lang, I was thinking that this is the only time I have for myself. But then, of course, the repercussion is that I stay up very late. I sleep very late. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel very rested because puyat ako. I lack sleep. And I feel tired. So I'm not in the best during the mornings. So it's not very healthy. Okay? And that's not self-care. Nabubuking tuloy ako. And then self-care is also not engaging in retail therapy. Like yung 4455, may 66 kaya. Engaging in retail therapy without any regard to your budget. Because if you become over budget, diba? Over budget ka because of your online shopping, it's going to be stressful for you as well. So that's not self-care too. Or if you're going to be in debt, kakautang ka because you're having a retail therapy, then that's not self-care too. So be careful. Baka naman add to cart tayo. Be careful, baka mamaya bigla mo ma-check out. Check your balance first if you have enough, diba, before checking out your online shopping. Although it's really fun to do. Ginagawa ko din yan. Pero puro add to cart lang. So self-care is also not frequent mindless snacking on foods that will make you feel worse after eating. Okay? I also experienced this not long ago because I usually work from 9 p.m. to 12 to do some of my reports because I become very busy during the day. And if I feel stressed in doing reports, I tend to eat something to relieve the stress. Stress eating, And then, yung one night of eating chips, it became 2 nights. And then later on, I realized it's like I'm eating every night. I can't work without any chips on my side. And that's not healthy. Firstly, because it's chips. Secondly, because it's already late. Then I'm still eating. Then after working, I'm going to sleep. So that's not healthy too. So that's not self-care. Okay. Self-care is not pushing yourself past your limits in the name of appearance. Okay, especially in the era of social media. Okay, yes, I do self-care. I exercise every day. See? Click and then post to social media. And then there might be a time when you're pushing yourself past your limits just because you want many likes or many hearts. Because nowadays, since we're not having any face-to-face interactions, the best interactions we have is online through social media. So also be careful with that. Okay, that's not self-care too. Again, self-care should be something that you enjoy, not for the expense of other people. All right. Self-care is also not retreating from positive relationships and isolating yourself. It's okay for you to have your quiet time. That's really nice, but make sure you're not overdoing it to the point that you're not communicating with any of your friends. Okay, that's not self-care either. So we need to have relationships too. I think Ma'am Geraldine also mentioned that a while ago. Okay, so those are the things that self-care is not. Self-care requires us to check in with ourselves and ask ourselves how we're doing and what our body is asking for. So the best reminder of what we need or what kind of self-care we need is our own bodies. Okay? From time to time, you let your body speak. What do I need? What does my body need at the moment? Is it rest? Is it food? Is it sleep? Is it exercise? So it's your body which will tell you what you need for self-care. And if your body tells you what you need for self-care, of course, please do go ahead and treat yourself, pagbigyan nyo yung katawan nyo kung ano yung kinakailangan niya. Ayan. If you feel thirsty, then go ahead and drink water. If you feel sleepy and you feel like you need some time, you need rest, then go ahead, take a nap. Okay? Don't deprive yourself of those things because you deserve those things. Ayan. So, why should we practice self-care? What are the benefits of self-care? So, firstly, self-care can improve our physical health. Most of the self-care routines that we have focuses on physical health, like for example, exercising, doing yoga. If we're going to do those things like hygiene, all of those will make us become physically healthy. And later on, of course, it's going to boost our immune system. And at this point in time of the pandemic, the best thing that we can do to fight COVID is for our immune system to become strong. So improving our physical health. Also, another benefit of self-care is that it can reduce stress and anxiety because as I mentioned a while ago, self-care should be something that we do, that we enjoy, should be relaxing for us. And if we do activities that's relaxing for us, then it's going to reduce our stress and anxiety. Okay, later on, we will be talking about different self-care practices that can help you reduce stress and anxiety as well. Self-care can also boost our self-esteem. Like the letter C, one of the letter C's, which Ma'am Geraldine discussed a while ago, C is for confidence. Okay, so self-care can boost our self-esteem and confidence. If you are kind to yourself, if you, let's say, treat yourself kindly or with kindness, if you will look at yourself more kindly, yes, that will build your self-esteem. And there are studies saying that people with higher self-esteem find it easier to deal with setbacks or with challenges than those with lower self-esteem. Ayan. So, ang question ko, kamusta ba ang self-esteem natin ngayon? How confident are we? Ayan, a sort of reflection. And then when we take care of ourselves, when we value ourselves, when we're kind to ourselves, it affirms our self-worth and our value. How do we value ourselves? How do we love ourselves? It's also going to show on our self-care practices. And of course, self-care protects our mental health. One of the areas of self-care is mental health, okay, mental self-care. So by taking care of our mental health, by reducing stress and anxiety, okay, we will be able to manage our mental health issues. But of course, it cannot replace professional help. Self-care also means that we know when to ask or to seek professional help. Okay, so tandaan natin yan. Self-care also means when to seek professional help when we need one. Okay, and self-care can lead to better relationships. This is also another area of self-care, social self-care, we should be discussing later on. Okay, so sabi nga, no, self-care can make us better nurturers or better caretakers, because when our love tank is full, then there's so much that we can share with other people. But if our love tank, diba, is depleted, there's nothing left of us, then there's nothing that we can give. Always remember that you cannot give what you don't have. And practicing self-care is one of the things that will ensure you that you can give something to your loved ones, to your friends, to the people around you, to society. Again, the last C, I think second to the last C, contribution. So by practicing self-care, we will be able to contribute and contribute to our society, to our families, and in that way, we can become resilient too. Ayan. So those are the 5 benefits of self-care. Okay. Now the goal of self-care is to make you feel refreshed, re-energized, and rested. Okay. Diba, nowadays we all have the gadgets, cellphone. Like, for example, today I have laptops in front of me, laptops, laptops, and then cell phone, diba? And then whenever the batteries of our gadgets, diba, pag bumababa na yung battery natin, we immediately charge our batteries, yung batteries ng gadgets natin. Why not? Because if we're not going to charge our gadgets, then you students you might not be able to attend their online classes, diba? Or you won't be able to, let's say, communicate with your friends or with your relatives. Again, because of the pandemic, we have to do everything online, like this webinar, no? And so it's very essential for us to always make sure that we have enough batteries for our gadgets. And same goes with us people. Yung cellphone niya, kailangan ng mag-recharge eh. Ikaw pa kaya, tao ka. Diba? Ikaw yung may-ari ng cellphone. Just imagine what's going to happen if na 0% yung battery mo, diba? Makatayo ka pa kaya sa higaan? So let's not wait for that to happen. Self-care is... there are a lot of self-care strategies, easy self-care strategies that will help you be refreshed, re-energized, and rested. And these self-care strategies can help you combat stress. Okay, although let me just clarify, no, stress is not always bad. Okay, we have different types of stress. We have positive stress, which is eustress. Eustress, that's the eustress is the one which helps us to become motivated to do something, pushes us to do something. The opposite of eustress is distress. Ayan. Yan talaga yung parang mawala ka na ng gana, no? Ayan. When you're in distress. So at this moment, are you feeling eustress or distress because of the many requirements, no? Because since the finals is fast approaching, no? Parang 2 linggo na lang yata, tama ba? 2 to 3 weeks. And then it's finals na. Then welcome summer classes. Ayan. So just make sure again that you're aware of what you're feeling at the moment. If you're feeling a positive kind of stress, if you're motivated at present, or are you feeling distressed? Okay. If you do, it's time to have some self-care routines. And so what's next? Okay, so these are the different areas of self-care. We have the physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual self-care. Actually, in other literatures, there are 8, pati yung financial kasama. But let's just focus on these 5 areas of self-care. Okay. Firstly, we have the physical self-care. Physical self-care is anything that includes fueling our bodies, okay, our physical health, focusing on our physical health. So some things that we can ask ourselves, are we getting adequate sleep? Again, the term adequate. Okay. Are you getting sleep? Yes, ma'am, I'm getting sleep. Is it adequate? No answer. And so sleep is very important in self-care, but I do understand that as students, no, ma'am, ang dami naman requirements. Talagang hindi po kami pwedeng matulog kasi pag natulog kami, malilate kami magpasa. Ayan. And I understand that. I understand that. I've become a student as well. You know, I've become a student as well. And I know the feeling of not sleeping at all to study. But then again, it's not very healthy, no? And actually, just to share with you, ano, like since last year, parang 4 hours pa lang yata yung pinakamahaba kong tulog na tuloy-tuloy. Because I had a baby last year and it's really not easy taking care of a baby and talagang sleepless nights. Hello. And so again, even though that's the real scenario that we're experiencing, we still have to check with ourselves, am I doing enough for myself, for my physical self-care, for my physical health? Like, for example, do you have a balanced diet? Or are you really taking charge of your health, like drinking vitamins? And if you have, let's say, if you have certain illnesses, are you taking your medicines? Are you getting enough exercise? And so these are reflection questions for our physical self-care. So these are basic naman yung self-care, you know? Madali naman kumain, matulog, exercise. Yes, but the question is, even though these are basic things, no, self-care is basic, essential. Lugaw nga essential, no, self-care pa kaya? Ayan, so these are basic things like eating, sleeping, exercising, even grooming, our hygiene is also part of self-care. But the question is, why is it difficult for us to engage in these activities adequately? Ayan, bakit nga kaya? I am posing that question for you. Later on, let's try to answer that question. Ayan. Are you familiar with the this or that game in IG stories? Ayan. Would you rather or this or that? Ayan. So I'm going to show some pictures about these are also part of it. This can also be part of self-care, physical self-care routine, ano? Ayan. So I'm going to flash pictures and then please answer in the chat box which you're going to choose, this or that. Okay, just for fun. Okay, number 1. Yan, this or that. Would you rather, are you a breakfast type of person or a dinner type of person? Can you please type in the chat box your answers? That, that both po. Ayan, dinner. No nga, no, both nga naman. Ayan, hey, ako dinner. Hindi ako mag-breakfast. But I really try to eat breakfast because self-care, ayan, balanced diet, balanced meals, dinner, breakfast, okay, dinner, sabi ni Lucille, breakfast, okay, breakfast, okay, thank you for your answers. Maraming breakfast people, that's good. Let's go to the next one. How about this one? Are you a veggie type of person or you like fruits better? Vegetables or fruits? Vegetables, vegetables, fruits, vegetables, fruits. Same pa rin. Pareho pa din. Okay, the goal is balance. So we need to eat a little, we need to eat vegetables and fruits. But the point is, these are healthy foods that we need to eat. And just make sure that when we eat our meals, yung glow, grow, and glow, ayan, present, ano, most, ayan. I'm not telling you na chips is bad. Chips is bad. Parang natigilan ako doon, ano. Yes, chips is bad if consumed more than we need to consume. Ayan. So again, in moderation, it's okay. Ayan. Veggies and fruits. And how about this one? Do you like sweets or more of savory type of foods? May mga sweet tooth ba dyan? Ayan, si Diana. Sweet tooth, savory, both din. Ayan, sweet. Okay, savory. Ayan, sweetie. Oras na magmerienda, puro pagkain. Alright, how about this one? Yan, spaghetti or noodles. Ayan. Noodles, syempre. Noodles is life. Ayan. Spaghetti. Namimiss ko yung spaghetti dun sa Jollibee sa A-Road. Ayan. Noodles, yes. Others, what do you prefer? Others, I think, prefer pancit. Ayan, pancit. Spaghetti. Same. Same talaga si Krisha. Parang mahilig kumain. Ayan. Thank you for your answers. How about the next one? Ayan. Do you like chicken or fish? Which one do you like? Chicken or fish? Wow, fish. Chicken, chicken. Jollibee fried chicken. Both pa din si Krisha. Consistent ka. Ayan, both. Yes. Chicken. Okay. Again, balanced diet tayo, ha? Chicken and fish. Ayan. Parehong healthy yan. Okay. Next, ayan. Exercises naman tayo, no? Body movements. Which do you prefer? Jumping rope or dancing? Tanggap ko po all meal. Yan. Acceptance is the key. Ma'am Geraldine mentioned acceptance. Okay. Jump. Oh, marami ang dancing. Saya. Wala. Okay. Anong prefer mo, Lucille? Let's look at the next. This or that. Walking or jogging? Yan. Siyempre, walking lang ako. Both. Walking. Ayan. Walking, jogging. Sarap mag-walking, ano? Ayan, nakakamiss yung mag-walk tapos nasa nature ka. Ayan. Jogging. Okay. Sarap igalaw pa. Yes. True, that's true. And the next, would you rather do gardening or decluttering? Ayan. Yes, nakakapagod pag steady. Unlike when I was thinking of the face-to-face classes, if you're already tired of sitting down, you can just say, "Ma'am, may go out." Then you just go to the comfort room. If you're in the third floor, pupunta ka pa sa first floor para lang mag-CR, para lang maigalaw-galaw yung mga paa mo, no? Ayan, decluttering, gardening, may mga plantito at plantita tayo dyan. Both. Alright. Ayan. And what's next? We have, would you rather do swimming or biking? Ayan. Swimming or biking? Si Krisha parang lahat, both ang sagot. Okay. Love, same. O talaga, consistent talaga siya. Both. Wow. Alright, biking and swimming. Okay. So, thank you so much for your participation. We'll have another round later. Let me just give you some quick sleep tips because based from the people or from the students that I get to talk to recently, again, ang hirap matulog daw because of all the requirements. Do you have the same scenario, same situation? It's hard for you to go to sleep because of all the requirements. Here are just some quick sleep tips that you might want to consider for you to practice physical self-care. Ayan. Make sure you have consistent sleep schedule, same time every day. Ayan. Gaano kaya yan kaposible sa atin ngayon, sa inyo pala? Ayan. So the bedtime that is early enough for you to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Ayan. Don't go to bed unless you're sleepy. If you don't fall asleep after 20 minutes, go get out of the bed, do a quiet activity without a lot of light exposure, and make sure that you're not on your phones. Okay? Ayan. Here, turn off electronic devices at least 30 minutes before bedtime. And then make your bedroom quiet and relaxing. Make it comfortable. Don't eat a large meal before bedtime. So, naalala ko yung sharing ko na kumakain ako ng chips ng alas 11 ng gabi. Do not do that again. Do not do that again. Ayan. If you're hungry at night, eat a light, healthy snack. Ayan. It's actually me telling that to myself. So, reduce your fluid intake before bedtime. So, these are just some of the quick sleep tips that you might want to consider for you to take care of your physical, or for you to do physical self-care. And then, these are other physical self-care tips. Yan, self-hug. Yan, self-hug. Or you can probably request your parents to hug you, ano? Hugging has a lot of wonderful effects to us, positive effects to us. And if you have time, do foot spa, relaxing shower, drink a big glass of water, and then you can probably play with a pet. These are physical self-care that you can do. Ayan. So marami tayong tips. Are there any other tips that you would like to share with us today through our chat box? Physical self-care. Ayan. Again, also part of physical self-care is hygiene. Ayan. I've been sharing even last year, that my number one self-care regimen or routine is hygiene. Yan, ang hirap po ng merong baby sa bahay. It's really a self-care for me to be able to take a bath every single day and then to brush my teeth at least twice a day. Ayan. So, I pamper myself. Yan, pag naka-makeup, pampering na yan sa akin. So, how about you? What other physical self-care tips can you share with us in this session? Can you please type your answers in the chat box? Yan, kung meron kayong mga tips for us. Okay, then let's go to the next one, which is the social self-care. So let's try to figure out what our social needs are, and to build enough time to schedule or create an optimal social life despite the pandemic. So that's the challenge, Some of the things that we have to consider is that, are we getting quality time with our friends or with our loved ones? What are we doing to nurture our relationships with friends and family? Diba? Ayan. Skincare. Oh, I like that. Yes, skincare. No, I actually am doing that too. Skincare. What I lack is the consistency. But yes, that's also a physical self-care that we can do. Thank you, Zareen. Tama ba, Zareen? Okay, so again, going back, social self-care. Are we getting enough? Are we getting quality time with our friends and our family? And how are we nurturing our relationships during this pandemic? Yan. For Filipinos, what makes us happy isn't the material things actually. It's more on social. We're happiest if we're in a group, with our family, with our friends, with our immediate community, and even strangers. And as I've mentioned before, especially for your age group, our students, for college students, this is a time of your development wherein you have the need to mingle physically, sana, to mingle with friends, to explore yourselves, yan, to build your own personhood. But sadly, the pandemic is a big hindrance for you to do that. And so, in any case, there's still other things that we can do for us to connect. And I think also that's one of the biggest struggles we have. That's one of the biggest struggles we have nowadays when it comes to social self-care. How we connect with other people, because we have a lot of limitations, and talagang malaking challenge na lalo na sa kabataan sa ngayon. Ayan. But we are coping. I saw your the scale Ma'am Geraldine gave you, and most of you answered 3.54, and 5. So yeah, congratulations for coping well during this pandemic. And konting kemba pa. So other tips for social self-care, reconnecting with an old friend, doing video calls, as they say, actually lessens chances of anxiety and depression by video through video calls. So you can do that. You can probably schedule a game night or Netflix party. And these are just some of the things that you can do with your friends. And then you can also write thank you messages, probably email or through Messenger, or just say hi to your friends, ano, yung mga old friends natin. Ayan, baka naman lagi nating kachat is yung mga ka-groupmates natin sa projects and sa research and school works. How about your other friends? Do you still have time to say hi to them? Ayan. Cuddling with a furry friend. Just going back to the thank you messages, ano, is I remember there was this one student who messaged me, this was last year, na she had regrets because di ba we have the COVID-19, we have COVID, no? One of her friends sadly passed away because of COVID, and she had this regrets that she wasn't a good friend. She should have done this, done that before her friend passed away. So there, write thank you messages since we once you have give time for thinking, for writing messages, for saying hi to your friends, kamustahan. Okay, that's very essential. And cuddling with a furry friend, family fun night. Do you have bonding times with your family? Board games siguro, ano? Or trivia games at night, or family fun night aside from eating together. Be creative and doing social self-care. And then, as I mentioned earlier in my presentation, setting your boundaries and learning to say no. How can this be a form of social self-care, man? And we're talking about we're talking about connecting with other people. So saying no is a form of self-care because setting boundaries help us to be connected without um, becoming enmeshed, being in a difficult situation. When these are just some tips for you to set your boundaries. If you want to say no, be firm and direct. I'm sorry, I can't attend the group meeting right now. And then you can buy yourself some time. Let me think about it, and then try to compromise in a sense that you'll both be in a win-win situation. Separate refusal from rejection. You're refusing, let's say, the task, but not rejecting the person. So magkaiba po yun, ano? And like what Ma'am Geraldine also mentioned earlier, be true to yourself. Be honest with your feelings. Is it okay for you to do this for your friend or not? So be honest with your feelings, be true to yourself, and then communicate honestly with others what you're feeling. This is also another way for you to build lasting relationships. Okay, so that's for social self-care. What about mental self-care? Ayan, this is the way we think about the things that the way you think and the things that that's filling your mind will greatly influence your psychological well-being. So if I'll ask you now, ayan, ano ba ang mga iniisip natin ngayon? Punong-puno ba ang ating isipan? Ayan. So ask yourself, are you making enough time for activities that mentally stimulate you? Or are you doing proactive things to help you to stay mentally healthy? So ano ba ito, ma'am? Ayan, let's see. So let's do a this or that again. Ayan. Would you rather read a book or do puzzles? Ayan, pa-answer naman po. Would you rather do a book or read a book or do puzzles? Puzzles. According to Zoreen, read. Puzzles. Hi, Jobel. Ayan. Both do puzzles. Ako personally, I'd rather read a book. Ayan, I love reading books. If not the actual book, we have apps that can Kindle, yan, stuff like that. Read a book, yan. Okay. So parang maraming nag-read a book. Marami ding puzzles, you know. All right. What else can we do for our mental self-care? You can do, there are adult coloring books, ayan. Do you like to do coloring, or would you rather doodle? Which do you prefer? Coloring or doodling or drawing? Both. Ayan. Doodling actually helps daw to calm you. Yung wala lang, kumbaga blank lang yung isip mo and then you just doodle, it helps you feel calm. So as with coloring, you know, based on the colors that you're using, it can actually reflect what you're feeling at the moment. So it's also cathartic, ayan, mentally and emotionally. So you can do any of this stuff if you're feeling like stressed out or before ka pa ma-stress. Gawin mo na siya, isama mo na siya sa self-care routine mo. Krisha, lahat gusto mo. Ayan, and I like that. You love art. All right, coloring, and goals. Personally, I love to color. I have adult color books here in the house. Ayan. Would you rather write in your journal or make a gratitude list? Which one? Ayan. Writing is also cathartic. Ayan. It helps you to lessen the stressful, it can help you lessen the stressful things that's bothering you by writing them down. Okay, it's very helpful. Yes, write in your journal. Ayan. Or if not an actual journal, not an actual notebook, do you do blogs or vlogs? Ayan. Or TikTok kaya? Hindi ko na isama yung TikTok. Ayan. Dapat pala journal or TikTok. Ayan. Write in journals. Okay, both both, Cesarean. So thank you. All right. But also making a gratitude list is a good practice. You don't really literally have to write. You just have to like think of, let's say, 3 things that you're grateful for once you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night. It helps you. It's very helpful. It will give you a positive feeling. Lalo na sa umaga, no? It sets your day on a positive. It helps you to set your day in a positive note when you think of positive things rather than the stressful things that you have to do in a day. Ayan. So that's also helpful. These or that, listen to music or listen to podcast. Music. Pero depende po sa topic for podcast. Okay. I have actually not yet tried listening to podcast. Ayan. Listen to podcast. I believe we will learn a lot if we listen to podcast, especially sa mga auditory learners. Ayan, both. Okay, music. Okay, akala ko both si Krisha. Ayan, music pa din, music. All right, both. Thank you for your answers. And then these are other tips for our mental self-care. You can take some minutes of your day to make your own playlist. Ayan, you can also try to make a list of your recent accomplishments. Siguro marami sa inyo mag-cringe dito, huh? Accomplishments? Ayan, humble daw tayo, ano? But actually, it's going to help us to affirm ourselves by being, again, the challenge is to be honest with yourself. You know, what are your recent accomplishments, even the smallest accomplishment? For example, I'm able to finish a bowl of veggies. Dati hindi ko naman nagagawa yon. Accomplishment, diba? Accomplishments doesn't require you to get a medal or an award. So simple things that can help you to affirm yourself and your self-worth. Okay? Ayan. Mental self-care, practice self-compassion. Self-compassion means being kind to yourself. Self-compassion is actually the foundation of self-care, although they're not the same, okay? You can practice self-care but not be self-compassionate, and you can be self-compassionate but not practice self-care. Ayan. And also self-affirmations. Self-affirmations like this one. I think I have that in my next slide. Ayan. What are self-affirmations? These are positive phrases or statements used to challenge our negative or unhelpful thoughts, especially when you're stressed out. Ang daming pumapasok na negative things sa isipan mo. So self-affirmations can actually help you combat those negative thoughts. And positive affirmations require regular practice. And if you want to make long-lasting make lasting long-term changes to the ways that you think and feel. It's about reframing your thoughts from unhelpful thoughts or negative thoughts to positive ones. Okay, like for example, you're feeling stressed because of your academic requirements. You can list down the positive things that this will, or the benefits of this to you. Parang ang hirap, ano? Pero you can actually do that. You can try doing that as well. So positive affirmations will help you motivate yourself, encourage positive changes in your life, and boost your self-esteem. Okay, again, having higher self-esteem will make you more confident and will help you to become more resilient. So this is an example of a positive affirmation. I am more than enough. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am smart. And so for more positive affirmations, please follow Guidance Center to a FB page. We usually post this every Tuesday, so you can have other examples of positive affirmations. All right, we also have the emotional. Next is emotional self-care. Emotional self-care is important for healthy coping skills and to handle uncomfortable emotions. And what are the healthy ways that you process your emotions, or how do you process your emotions? How do you handle your emotions? Like for example, if you're feeling sad, what do you do? And how do you handle being sad? How do you handle feeling happy? If you're sad, do you cry? If you're happy, do you jump up high? And so there. How do you incorporate activities into your life that help you feel recharged? I validate my feelings. Thank you for that, dear. Yes. Yeah. Validate your feelings. That's true. That's one of the things that you need to do if you have for you to process your emotions. If let's say, for example, you're feeling sad, acknowledge that you're feeling sad. Okay, I think I have that here also. Ayan. These are some of the things that you need to know about emotions. Emotions come and go. They don't stay. It's not, kumbaga, if you're sad, it doesn't mean that you're a sad person. The sadness will go away, will also go away. It will not linger. Okay, emotions can be mild, intense, or anywhere in between. And there are no good or bad emotions, but there are good and bad ways of expressing or acting on your emotions. So what do you do if you have a big emotion? Okay, so here are some tips how to build emotional awareness. Make a habit of tuning in to how you feel in different situations throughout the day. Be conscious of how you're feeling or what you are feeling. Try to name the emotion or the feeling. Okay, and then rate how strong the feeling is. Let's say from 1 to 10. If you're angry, from 1 to 10, how angry am I right now? Is it 10? Or is it the opposite? Then share your feelings with the people closest to you. One of the most cathartic things that we can do if we're having a very big emotion is to share it with others. Okay? Share mo. Minsan kasi once you share, once na masabi mo, parang, ay, nakakahinga ka ng maluwag, kumakalma ka. Ayan. Sharing, yes. And another tip for emotional self-care is being mindful. Ayan. Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, being aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. So you are physically present. Let's say, for example, in this webinar, kumbaga, kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon, yun lang yung pinakikinggan mo at iniisip mo. Hindi yung iniisip mo yung kakainin nyo mamaya o yung gagawin mo bukas. Ayan. So, the question is, are you mindful or mindful? Ayan. Gaano ba kapuno ang isip mo ngayon? Saan ba naglalakbay ang iyong thoughts as of this moment? We'll talk about that later, Zareen. Please take note of this question. Paano po kapag walang ma-sharean? Nandito lang ako. Ayan. If wala ka pa mapag-sharean, I think one good way also, aside from talking to your counselor, is journaling. Ayan, journaling. Or finding other things to express what you're feeling or your emotion. And like that, pray or watch something that makes you happy. And how to be mindful? Take a deep breath, like what Ma'am Geraldine shared with us, the deep breathing exercises. Ayan, imagine peace, imagery. Ayan, try to envision what peace looks like. Close your eyes and focus on peaceful place. Observe your emotions, like what I've shared with you a while ago. Then embrace the moment. Try to focus on one thing in the moment and give it all your attention. That's how being mindful is. And then practice willing hands. Unclench your hands, turn them like that, and relax your fingers. Take a mindful walk. Okay, and then if you have the means and if it's really safe, try to connect with nature. Parang marami na ngayon nagpupunta sa mga beach, ayan, summer, ano. Just make sure that it's safe. Okay? And the next, yan. Katulad ng sinabi kanina ni Felicia, doing something that makes you feel happy. Humor is also part of self-care. This shouldn't be a difficult one for us, especially for us Filipinos. We love to laugh. We know how to have a good laugh. Parang kahit konting bagay, kaya natin gawa ng something funny about it, no? Yan. We just have to be careful kung ano yung healthy tsaka dun sa unhealthy. Ano? Baka mamaya sarcasm na yan or bullying na yan. So we have to be careful with that as well. But humor is part of self-care. You can watch something funny, you know. And watch stand-up comedies or listen to a funny podcast. Okay, connect with a good friend whom you can be silly with, who can make you laugh. Draw or paint fun images. Ayan. Make someone else laugh. Ayan. When you help others smile and laugh, you're also sharing in the laugh and connecting with someone else. So let's make it a habit to also incorporate humor as part of our self-care. Ayan. Ang sarap kayang tumawa, no? Laughter, Ma'am Je, laughter therapy naman tayo next time. Ayan. Masarap pong tumawa. Nakaka-relax ng muscles sa mukha, di ba? Ayan, we have the benefits of laughter. It reduces stress and anxiety and tension. Okay, it counteracts symptoms of depression. It improves our mood. It reduces our stress response. It enhances our memory and creative thinking. It also improves interpersonal interaction, reduces isolation, increases friendliness and helpfulness, and also our ability to cope with difficult situations. Ayan, kaya tara, tawa na. Ayan. Simulan natin sa smiling. Ayan. Smile until it becomes real. And then later on, let's find ways on how we can be happy and laugh. Laugh together with your friends and with your family as well. Next is spiritual self-care. Nurturing your spirit can involve anything that helps you develop a deeper sense of meaning, understanding, or connection with the universe. It doesn't have to be focused on a certain religion. But if you're a religious person, then go ahead and nurture your spirit with that. Okay, so ask yourself, what questions the meaning of life ito, no? Yan. What questions do you ask yourself about your life and experience? Are you engaging in spiritual practices that you find fulfilling? Again, self-care is something that you enjoy doing and not something that you're forced to do. Okay, so it should be something that you're happy to do. So other activities for spiritual self-care, we have meditation, yoga, attending to a religious service, praying, be in nature, dedicate time for self-reflection. I think I saw someone earlier saying like 10 minutes of quiet time. That can also be part of spiritual self-care. Do a random act of kindness, and then volunteer for a cause. So these are some of the things. This is actually related to the contribution, 7 C's of resilience, contribution, being able to contribute, yung volunteerism and yung doing random act of kindness. So they're very much related. And what else do we have? Meaning of life. We are at our best when we dedicate time to something greater than ourselves. This might be religious faith and can be through community work, family politics, a charity, a professional, or a creative goal. As long as we have, as long as we're dedicating our life to something meaningful for us. Ayan. And how do you start with your self-care routine? And try to determine which activities bring you joy, replenish your energy, and restore your balance. Again, self-care doesn't have to be luxurious. Yung iba kasi, no, when we talk about self-care, ay naisip nagpupunta sa spa, nagpapamassage. It doesn't have to be expensive. And again, retail therapy, ha? Retail therapy. And take note. Ayan, it's not self-care kapag nagkautang, okay? Ayan, so something that will restore your balance. Start small by choosing one behavior you'd like to incorporate into your routine in the next week. Yan, paisa-isa lang. Small steps are still, baby steps are still steps, ano? Ayan. Kahit na maliit, ang mahalaga, nagkakaroon ng improvement. Let's say, for example, you'd like to have a better physical self-care routine. Palagi mo, kailangan mo ng enough na tulog or ng pagkain. Ayan. Be mindful of what you're eating. Ayan. Do you have a balanced diet? Ayan. So start small. Ang umpisa talaga is self-awareness. So what is it that your body is telling you? Okay. Wait lang po. Okay. Can you hear me po?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ayan. Sige. Also, build up to practicing that behavior every day for 1 week. Reflect on how you feel and add in additional practices when you're ready. Okay. And the key to self-care, this is from me. Ayan, consistency and commitment are the keys to self-care. Be consistent. If you find, let's say, found out a certain activity that you would like to incorporate in your self-care routine, be consistent with it. Have the discipline and have the commitment. Wow, commitment. Ayan. If committed ka ngayon sa isang tao, sa relationship mo, I think it's best for you to be first committed to yourself. Okay? Why? Here's why. The most important relationship you have is with yourself. So yan po ang aking panghuling slide this afternoon. Always remember, ayan po, the most important relationship you have is with yourself. So commit yourself to doing positive self-care strategies. So thank you very much for being with me this afternoon. I hope you learned something. And I'll give the space now to Ace. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very insightful and useful tips that we can use, syempre, sa our everyday lives. But, ayun nga, sabi ko kanina, or before we start our program, diba sabi ko, if you're not doing something today, that's okay. It's still a thing. Doing nothing is still a thing because it's part of taking care of yourself and having a self-care. Sabi nga kanina ni ma'am. So, ayun, at this juncture, you may now key in your question, clarification, queries, and concern if you do have. But while you are typing your questions or while you are preparing your questions for the open forum, let's all welcome another special number from our College of Medical Technology student, Miss Daniel Anne Marie Liwanag. Let us give her a big round of applause. there you have it. I can imagine how how hard it is to learn a harp, no? Kasi me personally, I've learned how to play piano, but I'm not that parang good pa in playing piano. Sobrang nahihirapan pa ako. What more, no? Kung sa harp na sobrang daming strings and hindi ko alam kung paano ko siya i-play. So kudos to Daniel and Liwanag for that very remarkable performance for us. For more amazing student performances from our Trination students, you may visit Student Affairs Center Facebook page and YouTube channel to witness their remarkable performances. Again, I'm encouraging everyone to please key in your questions, clarifications, or any concerns that you'd like to raise during, today or this afternoon about our webinar. And you may also use the raise hand, what do you call this? This raise hand stuff if you'd like to open your microphone and to personally ask our guest speakers today. Ayan. Ako personally, wala akong question, pero let me read po the comment po from our audience today. Thank you very much po. Thank you po for the good insight. Ayan. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to our guidance counselors for sharing insightful ideas, tips on how can we take care of ourselves, especially during this time of pandemic, and how can we cope and how can we be resilient during this time of challenges. And also to our Facebook viewers, if you do have questions, you may comment on the chat box or in the comment section your questions and concerns. Ayan. You may also say thank you. If you don't have question. Or you may also use the thumb, what do you call this? The right thumb or this thumbs up emoji if you do not have question. Ayan, wala nang question si Miss Annie Veronica de Guzman. They're okay na sila. But before before I read the question on the Zoom chat box, I am reminding everyone to please do not forget to fill out our evaluation form. For this will serve as your certificate for this webinar. So we have a question, ma'ams, from Cesarine Urbano. Her question is, paano po kapag may insomnia ka? Ano po gagawin? Ayan. Ma'am Geraldine or Ma'am Kat?
Ayan, Ma'am.
Yan, ma'am. Hello
Isa
po.
lang po yung sasagot sa tanong niyo. Okay. Kanina I posted, ma'am, yung, kanina po I shared some quick sleep tips, no? But if it's not working for you, pag insomnia kasi, kailangan na minsan natin humingi ng tulong from professional doctor. Kailangan bang may inumin na medicine? Or sometimes naman, we can engage in other self-care activities like meditation or mindfulness para ma-relax tayo at matulungan tayong malabanan yung insomnia. Ayan. Ma'am Geraldine might want to add some things, ma'am.
Hello. Oo. Ayan, medyo mahirap yun, kasi gusto mo matulog, hindi ka makatulog, no? Sometimes we are overwhelmed, of the circumstances, no? Parang naiisip natin hanggang matutulog na lang, naiisip natin. So, ako personally, kapag hindi ako nakakatulog, hindi naman insomnia siguro yun. Or kapag hindi nakakatulog, I agree with Ma'am Kat na kapag naging habitual na yung, may insomnia ka na talaga, kailangan mo ng professional help. But for me, kapag hindi ako nakakatulog, yung cellphone ko, no, before I sleep, at least 1 hour or 30 minutes, hindi ko na binubuksan yung cellphone ko. And then, umiinom ako ng milk, warm milk. And of course, sabi ko nga kanina, the importance of prayer. Okay? So, meditate and pray. Makakatulong yon. Okay? So, yun yung aking pwedeng i-share. And then of course, pwede kayo na mag-reach out sa mga counselors to talk about it.
Ayan, ma'am. Ma'am, meron tayong follow-up question po. The same person, Ma'am Mizarine Urbano. Nagreseta po sa akin ng melatonin, kaso ang tagal po minsan ng effect po, huhu. Tapos, kahit bitawan po phone, po, ayaw pa din po matulog ng sarili ko po.
Maybe you have your follow-up checkup with your doctor on this. And then be honest, sabihin mo na yun nga, matagal ang effect nung binigay niya na gamot.
Yan. Usually kasi ang daming pumapasok sa isip natin kaya tayo hindi makatulog eh. Na kahit na iniinom tayong medicine, parang kumbaga naka-counter siya ng mga thoughts natin, ano. Kaya talagang if you can commit yourself to like trying to practice mindfulness activities, ayan, or meditation, it might help. It might help.
Ayan po. We have here po thanks and keep safe po from Han Nguyen. Ayan po. Thank you, ma'am. Ayan, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, po again for sharing your time and your effort to discuss all of this po that I know will be beneficial po for all of us who's here with us this afternoon. And now I think we're now going to the last part of our program, the awarding of Certificate of Appreciation to both of you, ma'am, as our guest speakers today. And to formally close also our session for today, may I call in our Student Development and Training Assistant, none other than Ms. Leah B. Degay.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Ace. Can you hear me po?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Ma'am.
Thank you. Yun, and thank you again, Ace. And thank you, Ma'am Geraldine, Ma'am Kathy, for accepting our invitation to be with us today, and for unselfishly sharing your expertise on mental wellness para sa ating students and also some employees who are here with us today sa Zoom and also sa ating Facebook Live. Okay, so we're very sure na maraming natutunan, maraming takeaway ang ating mga estudyante. Marami tayong what do you call this one? Marami tayong pwede ring i-share sa ating mga classmates and ating mga family with regards to self-care tips so that we will be refreshed, re-energized, and rested. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Cathy kanina, kung ang machine nga kailangan mag-recharge, how much more sa atin. So, let me read the citation po. Yan. So, the Trinity University of Asia Student Affairs Center awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Miss Geraldine P. Cruzado in grateful appreciation for imparting her valuable insights and inspirations as resource person in the wellness webinar with the topic Thriving Clinicians Resiliency Amidst Adversity, held on May 15, 2021 through virtual platform. Given this 15th day of May 2021 in Quezon City, signed by our Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Dr. Gisela D.A. Luna, and our University President, Dr. Wilfred Yu Chu. Much appreciation also is given to Ma'am Catherine Garcia for the unselfishly in sharing with the topic Your Mind Matters, Overcoming the Hill of Worries. So yun po, thank you very much, ma'am. Salamat sa pagpapaunlak. We're very grateful na to have you here with us today to share your nasobran ako ng kakasabi ng share. Pero yun po yung natin, no? Yun actually yung aim natin, for us to learn tips on self-care, tips on to be resilient, ganun. Sabi nga nung may gusto akong quote dun sa na-share na post ni Ma'am Geraldine from Kenji Miyazawa. Ayun. Sabi niya, embrace the pain and burn it as fuel for our journey.
Yes.
Embrace the pain and burn. Gawin mong gasolina yon to move on. Hindi yung embrace the pain and keep it in your heart. Hindi ganon. Gawin mo siyang gas, kumbaga sa sasakyan, yun ang panggasolina mo to move on. Yun po. So, thank you very much. I can thank you enough po, the participants who are here with us today, dito sa Zoom, the participants sa ating Facebook Live, to our two Father channels, to our dependable student leaders, Ace, Danica, Mary Grace, to our performers, Jericho and Daniel. Maraming salamat. And ayun, if you have dun po sa mga, I'm sure marami pong, ang mental wellness is not a issue for students. It's a thing for all of us, for us employees, for us staff, mga ganun. So for those na nakikinig sa ating participants, should you wish na may makausap, or andyan lang ang ating mga guidance counselors. You can visit the Guidance Center Facebook page. Nandun po ang kanilang mga contact details, the email addresses. Malaking tulong po para malaking tulong 'yon para sa ating lahat. So yun pa, again, thank you very much. Back to you, Ace.
Thank you, ma'am, for that message for our participants, our guest speakers, our student leaders, and to all our viewers on Facebook. Truly, this webinar about mental health is beneficial for all of those who attended today. But again, I am encouraging everyone to please fill out our evaluation form so that we'll be able to conduct another webinar series in a way that accordingly to your requests, or according to your needs, and according to the benefits that you'd like to have during the webinar series in the future. Again, we hope that you had as much fun attending as we did organizing it. And don't forget again to fill out the evaluation form posted at the chat box in the comment section on Facebook. Again, I am Ace Russell R. Domingo, your Master of Ceremonies this afternoon, signing off. God bless everyone and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Cathy and Ma'am Jess. Stay safe
Thank
po.
you.